my thickness.
At 18, I understand that's when you were kicked out of the house. Can you tell me, like, how that experience was?
Yeah, so basically, long story short, I was a very sheltered child. My father was a hardworking single father, so he worked 2 or 3 jobs. So at some point, when you raise your kids with discipline and spankings and fear, you can't really whip kids forever. Mm-hmm. So from age 14 to 18, when I was too big to whoop, my dad was always busy working. I was the bad kid cutting school. I was stealing. I was fighting, and I was gang banging. You're selling dope. I put my dad through so much shit. By the time I turned 18, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of calling the police. I'm tired of your drama. I'm about to pray for you. You need to get the hell out of my house. And it was then when I realized, like, at first I was kind of happy. I was like, I'm tired of church. I'm tired of going. I was talking shit to my dad. I was very disrespectful, and he put me out at 18. So I was in the streets with my friends, who I thought were my friends, and that's when I ended up meeting my daughter's father, who was an older man. I was 18, he was 34.
Really?
He was the original R. Kelly of Stockton, you know what I mean? So he's the one who really like turned me out onto, like orgies and swinging, because I was a child.
Was your daughter's father the one who turned you out to the game?
I guess you could say that. I was already like lightweight in the game because I was fast. I was game banging in the girls. Okay. I was prostituting a little bit. I was like, I was in the streets. But when I really came in with my sexuality and being, who I was because of him, because he was into swinging. I didn't know about swinging. When you're 14 or 16, you're having sex, you're sneaking to your friend's mom's house and y'all fucking in the back of the car. But imagine being 18 in the house where everyone's butt naked, high off ecstasy pills. Whoa. There's weed. It's an orgy. That blew my mind as an 18-year-old. I'm like, this is lit. Like, you know what I mean? And I was the center of attention because I was the youngest, hottest thing there. So I feel like he really was what, like, turned up my sexuality for sure. Like, because guys in high school were eating pussy and shit back then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was, like, this little quickie.
So you're like a kid dealing with a full-ass experienced grown man.
Just,
Yeah, because you're 34 years old now.
I'm 34
so
now.
Imagine, like, in reverse, like, you macking on an 18-year-old dude.
Yeah. If, it'd be the same thing. Yeah. I'm offering him drugs and alcohol and a good time.
Shit.
Of course you're going to do, So I was just like, this is cool. But now me looking back, I'm thinking, like, maybe that wasn't,
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't cool, like, but at the time, it was like it was life-changing for me, because I was like, wow, because, I was raised in the church, and, I didn't know anything about that, an orgy, wait, there's 2 girls? Like, what do you mean? Like, I was just, like, mind-blown by it, so, wow. Yeah, it was really,
So all of that shit was kind of like your coming-of-age experience.
Coming of age, so, for me coming to church and strictness to coming into, drugs and sex and just being lit, like, and freedom is the way, I had that freedom, you know what I mean, and I ain't turned back.
So like we said on the way here, like Stockton isn't really considered the Bay Area, but yet it's still Northern California. Yeah. And part of that culture is really the game, the pimping and hoeing.
Oh yeah.
I've asked like guests who come from there on this podcast about that. Can you speak a little bit to how, that is such a fabric in the culture? Like if you listen to Mac Dre, E40, like all of these artists who we love, they're all talking about the game. Like how does, growing up in this environment, like you are almost automatically like exposed to this level of street shit?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, like kids were sponges, and me at the time, I didn't, realize that. But just being around it, like like subconsciously, like in the back of your mind, you're already thinking it. But just seeing it in your peers and your elders is doing it and just putting it in you and the music and everything around you, it's like it was contagious. It was like I can't explain it. It was like so contagious to where you did it and then it's easy. It's like, like if you're doing a lick or a robbery, it's something comes when you do it and you're like, and you get your first taste. It's like your first taste of pussy. You're like, wait a minite, you're younger, like you watch porn, you fantasize, you thought about it, but your first piece of ass, you're like, this is great. All I had to tell her was she was cute and like, I don't know.
Early on, did you ever see porn on the internet or in a magazine and think like, oh, I'm going to be doing that one day?
I didn't think that, but Dad, please don't be mad. So this is back then before the internet. We had nudie magazines. So my father had nudie magazines, and he would like keep them in the worst places, under the bathroom seat, in particularly. So when I was younger, like we used to go in the bathroom and like look at the magazines, and I couldn't really explain like the emotions that went through when looking at it. But I was like, I don't know if I said I wanted to do it, but I'm like this is all right. Like it was different to me, and I didn't really like understand. Like this hustler, and the girls are spread on the couch with their little, what I'm saying, like with their shit open. So yeah, like when I seen it, like I was just like drawn to it, but I don't think it's something. I don't think I ever woke up one day and was like, I'm about to be a porn star model. Like this just came like throughout the years on what we're finna get into. But no.
You know, there's a story I've never told on this podcast before, but the reason I think I like BBWs and big women and all that, plus size women, is because when I was about 12 or 13, I used to like take my mom's Lane Bryant catalogs and then flip through them. I wasn't wanking into them at the time, but like one day
you didn't understand. I like it.
One day I was chilling upstairs and my dad walks in, and then I forget if I was playing the game or watching TV, but I slid the magazine right under the couch, and then he saw like top of it. He picks it up, and I'm like, knowing that he has it in his hand, but I'm like looking at the TV. I'm like, hey, what's that?
Because you're a kid, like you don't understand.
He takes it. He's like, bops me on the head with it and goes, "Go in the fucking bathroom, boy."
Oh my god, yeah. Like you said, magazine. You're a kid, like you're like that's why it's so fucked up now because of technology. But books and magazines, like your imagination as a kid just ran.
It was Lane Bryant catalogs that I was like first seeing women in their like bra and panties.
That was top tier, you know. And this is before YouTube and Google,
No doubt. Okay.
Hey now, say now, it's Ruby Monroe. We're in the thickness protection program, baby, and we want that thickness. Yeah.